All right, Miss Joellen, seed or transplant? Which one?
Oh, well, you know, that depends.
It depends, okay.
I actually do both.
Okay.
Because I go by, like a lot of people do, the length of time that it takes a seed to germinate and grow to a producing fruit. And if it's a long time, there's so many things that can go wrong. You know, like there's, you know, the weather, there's disease pathogens, there's weeds, there's all sorts of those pressures in the ground. And if you transplant, you know, ahead of time, you still have the same thing. You don't really have all of the correct temperature or the moisture level consistent enough to germinate seeds. Now, there are a lot of things you can buy.
Sure.
You know, you can buy grow lights, you can buy germination chambers and all sorts of things that will help you, and you will have great success with that. So if is that a hobby of yours and you like that, that'd be great. If you have a greenhouse, it's even better.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, a lot of us don't have those things. And so transplants for things that take a long time, like tomatoes, peppers, and even cool season crops that we can get here this month, like broccoli, cauliflower, and the cabbages. The time that they have to be sown to be able to get a seed transplant is usually in hotter weather or too cold, and so the germination is not that great. So buying transplants of those helps that process along. So you've already got a plant, but you've got to be willing. Somebody has gone to the trouble to grow that plant, so you know they're going to cost a little more than a packet of seeds. But I like to do both, and some of the things I think that are great to grow from seeds are sunflowers, beans, peas, squash, you know, all of those kinds of things. Things that are easy to germinate, that don't take long to germinate, are good candidates for seed production. And things that take a long time, you know, like tomatoes and peppers, those are better for buying transplants. Now there are some seed productions that I have not seen anybody have transplants of carrots. You know, mostly you have to seed those in the ground.
Right.
But one thing you've got to remember, the root vegetables like that, when you sow those seeds, they're small. So you're going to get a whole bunch of them coming up all at once. You've got to be willing to thin them and just leave some so there's a room enough for that root to produce in the ground. And that's the only thing. You have a little bit more work that way with those type of seeds.
You want to eliminate the competition, of course.
Yes, definitely do.
All right.
So that's basically, and I do both. I do some seeds because I just like watching things grow from seeds. Okay. But I do buy transplants, especially of broccolis and the tomatoes and things that take longer. Right. And I don't have a greenhouse or the facilities or the apparatuses to have those grow. So I tend to buy those as transplants.
I think the majority of gardeners buy transplants anyway, especially tomatoes and peppers. I mean, because you see a lot of those at the big box stores and at your nurseries.
Yeah, but you don't get as much variety. Right. I mean, the seeds, there's such a large variety of seeds available, and you might find one that you really like, so you're willing to go to that trouble to grow that particular one because you can't find it already grown out in the industry. So that's one drawback of just going with transplants all the time. You're at the, whoever wanted to grow what, and it is available to you. That's all you have to choose from. Whereas a catalog full of seeds, it's got a much wider variety of plants to choose from. That's the only difference that I see. Plus the length of time and the willingness of you to, have the right conditions for those seeds to germinate.
Okay. All right, so what you going to demonstrate for us today? Well,
I have a fun little project that kids love. This is a good family project. And I'll do my windowsill gardening this way.
All right.
And I make my own. We're into recycling and being environmentally sustainable. So we've got these wood newspaper pot makers. There's all different kinds. You just buy one that you like. And this particular one says to cut your newspaper about 3.5 inches by 10 inches. And you simply take it at the edge of the pot and you roll it. Then you fold it over the ends. And then you set it in place by doing this. You see it comes out like that. And then you pull it out and you have a pot.
I think I could do that.
And you can, the thing is this, with the newspapers now, the ink is soy-based. Huh. So, you know, you can just plant this directly in the ground, but then you will fill it with soil. This is a germination type soil, so it's a fine, because it's for seeds. And so any kind of germination soil will do, and you put it in. I have this little tray that I put it in, and you know, here's some squash. We'll plant some squash, and we've got some sunflowers. So, you know, and a lot of people say plant one. Well, you know, this is windowsill. Yeah. This is windowsill gardening, so I'll plant like 2 or 3. But you just, and you remember the seeds are big, so you're going to put this down in the soil about twice the width of the seed. Right. So when I'll set it in place, and then I simply push it down. And then I'll water it, and the good thing about this is you can water the tray, and it'll soak it up, so you don't have to keep pouring over the top. And then if you, of course, take your pencil and your popsicle stick, and you can write, well, this is zucchini, so you can sit it right there like that, and then it's labeled, and when it comes up, you'll know what was in that pot. And if you can see, sometimes windowsills, if you want to keep the temperature nice, you'll put a piece of plastic over, kind of make a little greenhouse in your windowsill. And when they do germinate and come up, they don't all come up. There might be this one may not germinate, and there'll be plants in all these others. And there might be 1 or there might be 2. You never know. Okay. Because it's not an exact science. You put it in a sunny window. I used to say either east or west or south. I have put them in east windows, but don't have as much luck. Okay. Because the south and the west, the sun stays in the windows a little bit longer and is a little bit hotter, so they seem to germinate better there. But it's not exact because, you know, the fluctuates from morning to night, and your house temperature isn't always right. It's dry, and then you may forget to water, and you know, so it's not an exact science, but it sure is a lot of fun.
Wow. So this is something that you do regularly?
I do it every year just because it's fun.
Look at the look on her face. Can't you tell it's fun? Yes. She's like a kid. Okay. That is neat. Something to do with the kids. Get them interested.
Get them interested in gardening. And then, you know, take the kids and you go outside. Once you have them and you plant them in the ground, and then they get to water them, take care of them, and then collect the fruit, and then you cook with it, and they eat more vegetables.
That sounds good. One last question, though.
Sure.
Can you actually plant that in the ground like that with the paper?
Yes.
Okay. All right, because it will degrade, I'm sure.
It will degrade. You sure will.
Good deal. We appreciate that demonstration, Ms. Joellen, all right?
No problem.
Thank you. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please click the subscribe button below.